they are giving teams a game, and Arsenal cannot come here complacent thinking, yeah, we've got Villa on the weekend, we've got Anfield in a few weeks, you know, this is the one where we can maybe take our foot off the gas.
I know in Luton there's a lot of Arsenal fans, and I think Arsenal coming to town is a bit different. So I think the players will be excited, the clubs are going to be excited, and I think that will work in our favour.
So Arsenal will have to earn the right to play, you know what I mean? I don't think they're just going to come here and boss it just like that.
The Premier League games are coming thick and fast. We've only just beaten Wolves. No time to sit and enjoy it too much. It's Luton away. This is going to be a fascinating game as well. We're going to break it down. Me, Turkish and Laurie. Laurie, I want to start with you. You just mentioned that you've lived in Luton before.
Yep,
tell us a little bit about what can we expect here? Because I don't know if I've seen Arsenal play Luton. I can't remember the last time it was.
Yeah, you know what? It would have been back in the 80s when Luton were in the First Division. But what I would say is, obviously I haven't lived in Luton for many years, although I've still got family and friends that live in the town, and obviously I'll follow their results. What I would say is it's a working class town, and the people here love their football, and that will be reflected in what you see on the pitch tomorrow, meaning that I expect an energised, fully committed, physical game.
What about the story of Luton? I mean, look, their promotion was there's so much praise and sort of love for the story of Luton's emergence back to the Premier League. That is kind of carrying them on this journey where, let's kind of be real, right? If Everton hadn't had the points deduction, they're in the relegation zone, and the feeling is they're probably not getting out of it. But I think there's sort of a real appreciation for the story getting there. They've put in some really good performances away at Everton, winning there. They made Liverpool work really hard here, and they're giving it a really good go and fight. And I think Arsenal are going to find this a real slog if they're to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Arsenal got the extra class. That goes without saying. So they should win. However, what I would say is that Luton, and I've watched a few of their games this season, they're high energy, they're physical, they're committed. Everyone's working in the same direction. The manager's got them playing to a system that seems to work well for them. And I would say, based on what I've seen, that probably they should have had a few more points than they've got. In other words, they've been playing a little bit better than their position suggests. I think they're 17th at the moment, something like that. So they're just above the relegation places. And they would be, let's be honest, in a normal world, favourites to go back down again. But there is a glimmer of hope there, based on what they do.
There is. Let's stick on Luton a little bit more, Turkish, because I want to focus on some of their last 6 results. They lost at Brentford, but gave them a game from 2-0 down, pulled one back. They beat Palace here 2-1. Liverpool here came here and dropped points. Okay, albeit the stats will say 30 shots, but they frustrated Liverpool in many ways. They went 1-0 up. If it weren't for Diaz at the last minute, they're looking at a really, really famous 3 points here. There's been other moments, like they go to Villa, who are great. Villa slapped Brighton 6-1, but it's a 3-1. What I'm trying to say is they've been in games, they're fighting. I mentioned that they won at Everton. They're doing well on the road with a draw at Forest. They are giving teams a game, and Arsenal cannot come here complacent thinking, yeah, we've got Villa on the weekend, we've got Anfield in a few weeks, this is the one where we can maybe take our foot off the gas.
I think it's one that we've got to approach the same way we approach Lons and Wolves. Start the game strong. I know Luton will start the game strong. They tend to start the game, like Laurie said, high energy, on our heels. But I think that can work in our favour, and I think they'll be excited to have Arsenal in town. I know Liverpool's a massive club and bigger than Arsenal, but I know in Luton there's a lot of Arsenal fans, and I think Arsenal coming to town is a bit different. So I think the players will be excited, the clubs are going to be excited, and I think that will work in our favour because I think I won't say there'll be a lack of focus there, but once you get on that pitch and you're coming up against Arsenal and you're seeing the players, you're seeing the shirts. I do think the moment will get to them, and I think we'll comfortably get a victory.
Wow, I mean, I hope you're right. I mean, it could obviously swing the other way, which is that they're extremely motivated, the energy is extremely charged, and naturally Arsenal maybe struggle in it. We've seen that over many years. We've just not seen that much from this Arsenal side, who seem to have been dealing with occasions well.
It will be a unique experience for Arsenal, because I can't imagine there'll be too many grounds that are going to come to like this. I mean, it's a small ground. Could see it there.
Well, actually, sorry to cut you there, Laurie. I wanted to just say that you love football heritage, let's say, and you mentioned the ground. There is that kind of. I don't know what the word is, but there's that kind of old school football feel about it.
definitely.
As well.
Yeah.
Traditional, thank you.
Small ground, the crowd, they always generate a good atmosphere. As Turkey said, there's loads and loads of Arsenal fans in Luton, so the game's kind of got that kind of London derby feel. It's just down the road from London. And trust me, the town will be buzzing for this game.
Yeah.
And that'll be reflected by the amount of noise the crowd make.
Yeah.
And it will make for a really good atmosphere.
Completely agree.
And so Arsenal will have to earn the right to play. You know what I mean? I don't think they're just going to come here and boss it just like that. I do think that Luton will present them with some problems. And I do think that certainly for the first 15, 20 minutes, it'll be a cracking atmosphere in there. And it will be really, really good to watch.
I think if we were ever to feel confident of Arsenal bossing the game, maybe it is now. And I'm not talking because of the opposition. I'm talking because we had 2 6-0 performances in a week. Only one transpired to be a 6-0. But I really do feel that Wolves game was as comprehensive a win as you're going to see in a lot of Premier League games. We had total control. Even away at Brentford, we won 1-0. We were made to work really hard for that. But we were kind of clearly the better team. So Arsenal could come here and really stamp their authority on the game, get moving, go through the gears. And if ever I felt confident that Arsenal can make that fast start this season in particular, it's now, Turkish.
My confidence and optimism comes more from our record away from home for
Yeah.
the last 18 months, more so than it does the last 2 games. The last 2 games, I think we've picked up momentum. We've added we've added that excitement back into the game. But when I look at us away from home against far greater clubs than Luton over the last 18 months, we've been very measured. We've been, very controlling, and not only controlling, we've also posed a threat. So I expect those ingredients to result in another 3 points come Tuesday. I'm not looking past them, but they've done well so far this season. But if we are to, be where we want to be come May, I think this is a game that we should really be looking to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the away record. I think it's 14 clean sheets in the last, since the start of the 22-23 season.
Yeah.
The next best is 9. So on the road, Arteta and Arsenal got something working and clicking. It's weird. I was at the Emirates for the Wolves game. We were 2-0 up, and the whole time I kept thinking to myself, get that third, and I'll relax. Get that third, I'll relax. I never feel that away from home. I never feel like, get the third and I'll relax. I'm always thinking, if we're 1 or 2-0 up, I'm very confident the team can see it through. So I'm really hoping.
Suck the life out of the opposition away from home.
Yeah, and I think there's almost an acceptance that we are going to try and protect what we got because we're away from home. And we are probably going to commit to that a little bit more than when we're at home, where we feel, can we counter? Can we get that third? Can we? And then suddenly it becomes a little bit more basketball, a little bit more end-to-end. So, yeah, I mean, I think Arsenal will approach this game with the same professionalism, because one thing Arteta's instilled in all these players. But we have had some sticky away games. We think Lens away. We think West Ham away. Who else did we lose
Newcastle?
to? Newcastle, where I actually don't even think... First half against West Ham, we were fine. We went 1-0 up against Lens. Newcastle, although we played okay in that game. It's not that we've handled these occasions badly. It's that actually, when we resort to the fine margins, which is what our style of football's kind of been more this season, they can sometimes swing against you. And a set piece that Luton might get, they can play some good football. We think, look at the counter-attack. The Ogben, was it Ogben who scored against? Scored against Liverpool. Was he the one who got the goal? I think, or was it Chong? Or was he involved in? I can't remember. Was he involved in it? Yeah, maybe. I think it was Chong. Was he involved in the break? I can't remember. Ogben is one of their kind of more exciting players. Like you think, if we don't get that early goal and we just get a little complacent, go kind of lull into our football a little bit, they can spring a surprise. And I think we should need to be aware of that. Maintain professionalism. Do not think about Villa Park till Wednesday morning.
I think that's the key. They've got to be professional. They've got to be willing, which I'm sure they will be, willing to match Luton's physicality and energy, because Luton will display plenty of that. Because like I said, they will know Luton that, pound for pound, they're no match for Arsenal in terms of ability and class. So the manager, Rob Edwards, he's a good manager, by the way, he will have them thinking, look, let's press them in a sensible way, but, let's get at them and turn it into something like that, more of a chess match where you're trying to play football against a team like Arsenal. So, but it'll make for good entertainment.
We're going to do a Predicted 11 show, of course, so make sure to look out for that on the channel, coming out very, very soon. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying this video as well. But I do want to ask on the Predicted 11, without spoiling too much of your thoughts, is anyone making changes here looking at the winter schedule? Or is it just, no, one game at a time? Because we do have a longer term season to look at. You could argue that the fact last season we fell away is partly down to fatigue and maybe not managing the minutes of certain players. You know, we love Saliba and Gabriel. Again, I'm not trying to spoil too much. We love them. But do they need to play every game? I just want to know if any of you are
know what? That
tempted
is an excellent point, because I've been saying for a while now that there are players on the periphery of the team that I'd like to see them get more minutes, whether that be starting or maybe not always starting, but certainly coming off the bench. So, for example, on Saturday, I was calling for the substitutions maybe a little earlier than what he did, and maybe more of them. I was surprised that Reece Nelson didn't get any minutes for a start. I mean, things like that. So
Yeah.
maybe a game like this, and this is not to underestimate or be complacent in any way, it might be, given that you've got a very difficult game again coming up at the weekend against Villa, away from home, that this might be an opportunity to give a couple of the players on the periphery of the team, if not starts, then some minutes.
You thinking that or not?
Not start. I think go strong, and then yeah, I like that Jesus came off just under the hour against Wolves.
Yeah.
I think more of that needs to be done heading into in and around.
Was
this
that early he
schedule.
came off? I didn't
It
realise.
was quite early.
Nice.
It was quite
Good.
early. Don't quote me on that, but it was early.
No, it was. I agree. But that is good. Like, that would show a real shift in the way Arteta's
100%.
using his
Let's see
subs.
that
We've
with
seen
Saka now.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that he tends to leave on through,
Yeah.
rain, sleet, and snow, and every hard tackle going. But I think the rotation bodes well. So far, we've seen it this season in comparison to last season where we didn't, and it became a problem at the end. So this season, as much as I've looked at chemistry, fluidity, and raised concerns about it, I'm looking at the rotation and looking at the fact we haven't really clicked into gear 3-4 yet. And I'm, hoping for the best in turn of the year.
All right, just give me a name. The player for you that can make the difference. We know what we expect of Arsenal, but that player who can unlock it, get that first goal maybe, make something happen, the player you're looking to carry us through this kind of game. Laurie?
There's a few, but if I'm going to lean towards one, Jesus for me.
Jesus for me. Tight spaces, work the centre-backs, going to get a bit ugly. I think Declan Rice as well, just to settle us. Because I said one name, they give me one name and I throw out two.
But you know what's interesting about that is that Jesus, rather similar to the game at the weekend, he's the type of guy that will occupy the defenders, those little bits of mercurial skill, and even if he doesn't score himself, it will bring others into the game.
Yeah, agreed. All right, like I said, everyone, hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel, check out all the content coming out on AFTV. We'll be keeping you up to date with every kick of a ball on the watch along as well on Tuesday night. So check it out as well. Of course, fan cams from the ground, in the studio, and everything. And then it's Villa coming up as well. The games are thick and fast. Welcome to the winter period. It's the Christmas period. We know what it's like. Catch you on in a bit.